Good morning. Did not have the microphone on. I apologize for that. Amateur hour here at my studio. Good morning. I hope all is well. Been getting a lot of curious phone calls. Good morning, Steve. Don't wait for tomorrow. What you can do today. Said, I don't know. That is true. That's very true. That's a Stoic philosophy. It's a that might have been Marcus Aurelius or whatever his name is. There's a there's a couple of Stoic channels. This one guy is pretty cool. I'm trying to remember his name. He wears the Iron Maiden shirt all the time. So anybody who wears an Iron Maiden shirt, it's got to be cool, right? So, anyways, good morning. I hope all is well. I think my last video piqued a few interest. I had a lot of calls and texts wondering, "Hey, dude, what's going on, man? What's going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's feed the ego." But no, I joke, I kid, right? I don't. I try to, if my ego starts to erupt, I try to beat it to a pulp. But anyways, let's see how many views that last video got. 342 views about my important decision, and we'll talk about that. We're gonna actually talk about that. I was gonna do like this stupid, I'm gonna reveal what it is in a members only video and all this stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so full of myself. I'm just going to put it out there. Some people have already figured it out what it is, but we'll get into that. So we'll get some more people in here and we'll talk about it. This week has been literally polar opposite of last week. So as far as busyness, and I'm still fighting the allergies, but it's more of a nose thing than a cough thing. I say as I need to cough. But thank God for the mute mic. And if I'm really sniffly, I'll end this feed because that's kind of gross to listen to. So, but anyways, good morning, Randy. A lot going on, but nothing going on, right? So, CDN's been reaching out to me, giving me some mentoring when it comes to the broker stuff. And I've had a lot of people reach out to me to see how I was doing. For those of you that were reaching out while I wasn't going live last week, I appreciate that. It feels good that people might actually care. If I'm entertainment to you, if you're hate watching, I appreciate you too. I don't pretend to know anything. I just say what I say and do what I do and hope that it helps you. If it helps you, great. If it angers you, then that's on you, man. You might want to see where your life is at if what I say angers you. So I can't control your reaction. So, but good morning. I hope all is well with you. I really do. I truly see that and believe that. And of course, my phone starts. All right, we gotta do this here real quick. So we'll get to the comments and then we'll look at some load board stuff and then I'll tell you about my decision. So, all right. So let me explain where my head's at. So for the last, I don't know, 3 years, I've been trying to really work hard on myself. I've failed at many things, and I've managed to improve a few things. And obviously I lost, 120 pounds. I gained some of it back, but we're back to losing again. And throughout these last 3 years, I've really, like, before the vid, right? Before the vid, I was already working on myself, and the vid kind of slowed it down. And I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and he kind of explained the vid was kind of like this meteor that hit the earth, right? And it's left this devastating shockwave that we're still feeling today. And the spot market has been um, greatly affected by that. Our economy, I mean, everything's been affected by it. And I was saying, you can look up the videos. I was saying 3 or 4 years ago, my original morning coffees that weren't live, they were just recorded videos from the truck. And I said, you're going to have to work on your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your financial fitness, and your spiritual fitness. I was not wrong. Okay? I was not wrong. If I'm going to go and say I told you so on anything in my life that I've said on this channel, that is it. That's the one thing. And it's proven to be true. I'm watching people lose their health. I've lost a couple of friends in the last 4 I've lost several friends in the last 4 years due to health. I've lost friends due to my ego and arrogance. So, I'm still working on my mental resiliency. Try not to react, right? I've definitely worked on my physical health, but I've also worked on my spiritual health as well. And I can't even imagine, had I not worked on those things starting 3 or 4 years ago, where I would be today. And one of those things that I have to take care of is you have to kill the ego. You have to swallow that pride. Pride comes before the fall. And what defines you? Like, what are you known for? Like, what's going to be on your tombstone? What's going to be in your obituary? Oh, this guy was great at YouTube. Who cares, right? Or this guy was a great business owner. Is that going to matter? Or this guy was a great person. He helped everyone he possibly could. Or he didn't, he or she didn't, you know it's the life is funny that way, right? I've learned quite a bit. I was talking to my youngest yesterday about um, the the digital noise, the arguments that occur online and in person. And I use this example. So I like the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not a football fanatic, but I am a fan. Do I know any stats or any players' names? Hardly, right? I know that Kansas City won the Super Bowl last year. Okay, and I kind of rubbed in one of the brokers I work with face because it was his team that was playing against. I don't even remember who they played against. And but if someone came up to me and said, "Dude, Kansas City sucks," I'm going to be like, "Okay," because my values, my it doesn't affect me. My emotions are in check when it comes to Kansas City Chiefs. Why? Because it's not an important part of my life. And you kind of have to be that with everything. Hey Steve, I don't like your beard. It's scraggly. Okay. You look homeless. All right. Well, what do you have against the homeless? It- My wife likes it. I like it. the rest of you don't matter when it comes to what my beard looks like. Do I want to comb it and oil it and everything? Yeah, I want it to look presentable. There are a lot of people that say, Steve, you need to shave your beard. Okay. The two letters okay is such that they could be powerful letters. They could be, it's a powerful word if you want to spell it all out. OKAY. Because if you're a highly emotional person and you want to attack somebody simply because they don't look the way you want them, that think that you should look, or if you're not doing something that they think you should do, but they're over emotional about it, and you just like reply, okay, it infuriates them because it literally does not satisfy that need of whatever they're wanting to DIY. Um, he's distracting me. It's literally not that important to me. When it comes to sports, there are people that have died because they disagree on sports teams. I was watching. I think it was Active Self Protection. They had this video where these guys were in an argument at this bar about sports teams. Well, at the end of the day, at the end of the anger session, three people died of shotgun or not shotgun of they of gunshots. Yeah, that's the word I'm like over sports teams, over ego. That's the root. It's not the sports team's fault. It's the ego. And so my decision is based around that. My decision is based on trying to kill the ego. And one of the things, I've been watching a lot of Ryan Michler, which is Order of Man. I've been reading his books, and then I'm reading right now Warrior Poet's book. And they both talk about killing the ego. Men have to do something uncomfortable. That's how you grow. That's how you become better. And right now, if you're working in the spot market and you're having to call, 20, 30 times for each load that you book, you're probably pretty uncomfortable right now. You're probably sitting there wondering if the truck's going to break down. You're probably sitting there wondering when the truck is going to break down. You're probably sitting there wondering if this market is ever going to get better. And then all of a sudden you have an easy day and you think, all right, man, we're over this. But then, it beats you back down. And look, there are people that are making decent money. In fact, some might even be making good money in the spot market. But you know what? They have the people they have mental resilience. Or maybe they have financial resilience because of how they set everything up. Or maybe they have the ability to pivot. They have the ability to adapt and overcome. So 4 years ago, when I was telling y'all that you're going to need all these things, especially when the vid started, I was not wrong. And I'm not the only one who thought that, because there are companies right now that are thriving. There are brokerages right now that are thriving. There are, big corporations that took advantage of the situation. Maybe some might even argue created the situation. And look how powerful they are. And so, and I'll get to the comments. I'm seeing some really good comments. But I'm flawed. I'm not without sin. I'm not without my weaknesses. I'm not without my failures. It's progress, not perfection. So while everybody's arguing about the he said, she said, BS, that's no different than picking up a National Enquirer and worrying about what Brad Pitt's doing or something like that. You know, it's the same thing. It's digital noise that does nothing for your life. And I know somebody whose life is upside down right now because he became entrenched in things that were not important, and he lost focus. He lost his spiritual guidance. And I think that when you're a truck owner or a business owner, to take the truck out of it, business owner. I mean, I watch Shark Tank a lot. In fact, that's kind of one of our family events is that when we eat dinner, we watch recordings of Shark Tank. And it's interesting to see the passionate people that didn't have it all together, you know, and 99% of the time the sharks don't make decisions based off emotion. You know, and people bring out the tears, oh my dad died during this event, blah blah blah. You know, and whenever they hear someone go, well, I I did a double mortgage on my house. Sometimes they go, "Oh, why? Why'd you do that? That's insane." And other times they go, "Wow, you're all in." And so sometimes when you're all in, there's no go back. There's no safety net. And now I'm rambling here at this point, but what I'm saying is when we all struggle, when you struggle, that makes you stronger. That's how a child learns to walk. That's how you get the confidence to overcome obstacles. I know very successful people that have filed bankruptcies 2 or 3 times. And I know some very non-successful people that have never filed bankruptcy. But what is success? What is success in your eyes? And I think that sometimes this owner operator thing is a cult. I've talked about this with a couple of my close friends. Because I have seen people lose their homes. I have seen people lose their marriages, all for the sake of the mighty truck ownership. And to me, that completely baffles me. And a lot of people have criticized me. Well, Steve, you're not all in. Even when you were running, you didn't run that hard. Lucky you. It must be nice that your wife works. I don't have those same privileges. You know, and here's something I'm going to say. It is nice, but I had to create that. I had to balance that. I knew that I didn't want to be a slave to a truck because that makes you enjoy the truck driving. I love truck driving. Now, do I miss going into the truck stops and waiting a half an hour just to fuel because some jack wagon is taking a shower, sometimes literally in the fuel island? No. Do I miss, that red light beeping at me if I'm getting pulled into the way station? No. Do I miss trying to look for a parking spot at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night? You know? No. Do I miss some of these, do I miss Atlanta traffic jams with 6 lanes of traffic and you ain't going anywhere? No. I don't miss that. What I do miss is the long drives where I could think and listen to music and really be in my element, which was what I was doing for the last 2 years I was driving. And why have I not taken my truck out this year? Because dispatch is doing okay. But but I'm also needed at home. It's a home life balance. And you know how many people I know, well, dude, I live in the truck, man. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife, man. I live in the truck. I don't have any expenses, but then they still go out of business. Why is that? You can't lose focus of who you are. And that's one of the many things to learn. So let me read some comments, and then I'm going to tell you what I've decided, right? Let me get to the comments here after I let the cat in. Randy, good morning from Wildwood, Florida. That's a great place to be. Not from O'Fallon, CB. Jose, what's up? In hot Miami, even worse. But good to see you, Jose. Good morning, Will Burner. Southbound Pachyderm, what's up? Good morning, Steve. Don't wait for tomorrow. What you can do today, said I don't know. My name is Nobody. Good morning, Nathaniel. Good morning. Good morning, Steve, says Greg Zimmer. Hey, everybody, keep up the good work with both feet. There you go. DIY semi. Morning therapy. I don't know about that. Morning therapy to me is 300 miles and some good music. Test of compliance. I have no idea what that's talking about. Morning, my fellow Snorelordians. Buck Brown, what's up? Steve, your information has helped me get into whatever ketovore thing I'm doing now. It is working. I'm down 20 pounds in a few months so far. I love hearing that. I love seeing that. And I get nothing from I get nothing financial from you for well other than the membership with both feet, but it's like I love seeing those results. And man, I love that. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for you. LVC says his tombstone was I told you I was sick. I think I've learned more about myself and humility from you in the last year than I've ever learned at any other time in my life. Thank you, Steve. Well, I appreciate that. All sometimes all a person needs is a perception change, and with the books and podcasts and the YouTube videos that I've been watching, it's helped me come to this point because there was a time where my ego was out of control. There was a time where it was all about me. There was a time where I alienated all my friends because I was an ass, and that still happens. Look at the deal with me and Big Rig CEO, and I regret that. But at the same time, I was defending myself, and I shouldn't have let that affect my emotions. But I appreciate that compliment, Will Burner. And we all need to learn from each other. There was a person that was his truck was in the shop, he was freaking out. And I asked him, I said, "Don't you want to be at a point where if that truck breaks down, you're not worried about it? You have a plan in place, or you have multiple plans in place when that truck breaks down. Wouldn't that be a nice place of peace to be at?" And he goes, "Yes." But he never achieved that. And now he's dead. That person is no longer with us. He was always stressed out, never had a plan for anything. He had dreams, he had aspirations, but he couldn't get out of his own way. And I look at that and I think, man, that's sad to me because you got to find balance. What good's all that money? Look, I know somebody that made over 300 and some odd thousand with their authority. You know what they got to show for it? A lot of damage in his personal life. I know several people. I'm very close to some people that have done that. What's the point, man? Right? You got to find balance. You want to be an owner operator, you got to find the balance to do that. You want to be a business owner, act like a business owner. Kill your ego, kill your pride, and do the work that needs to be done. It might make you uncomfortable. You might have to run the mountains in Washington. You might have to grab that 90-cent mile out of Florida if you don't want a deadhead. You might have to stay out 2, 3, 4 weeks when the market drops. You might have to do the multiple stop loads in the inner cities to make it work. But at the same time, if you lose focus of why you would do those things, then what's the point? You're wasting your time. You're wasting time and you're wasting money. And I get phone calls all the time. I get emails all the time. Hey Steve, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And they usually get barraged with about 20 questions. And, for me, it makes them have to sit there and think within themselves, what is the purpose? What is success to you? To me, success is balance. Is it nice to have the dollars in the bank? Sure. But what good's that money if it disappears because your motor blew, right? And now if you're prepared for that, then, oh, my motor just blew. Well, I knew this day was coming. So I'll just take this money and deal with it. And I'm willing to deal with it because this, that, and the other, whatever you got set up in your life. You know how many times I hear people go, man, if this truck will just hold out for the next month, man, I'll be okay. Guess what? That's when the truck, Murphy's Law states, oh, that's the truck. Truck gets this electronic signal that says, oh, boink. Let me fix that for you. There's a meme out there with PACCAR. It shows the DiCaprio character from that one Quentin Tarantino movie, and he's like holding up the check engine light. And it says, "Finally get all the bills paid and all the repairs done," and then it says PACCAR is like holding up the check engine light, and that was true, man. It's like ding. Trust me, I know all about. I know all about maintenance of a truck. These are all the maintenance records to this beautiful beast that's behind me. But you know what? I always had balance, never had to file bankruptcy. There was one time I thought I was going to have to sell the guitar to make the truck payment, but we avoided it, right? There was another time that I had that month off because I busted my leg, and we got through it. But I also had a lot of friends that were willing to step in and help because I don't go around tearing people apart. I try not to. I'm not perfect. So, Rockin' Robin, thumbs up. DIY, forget all this. You have load $5,000. If you shave that beard, brother, I'm out. No, I will not shave. I'm new to the channel. How did you lose 150 pounds? I lost 120, and I did it through a ketogenic low carb diet. I stopped eating processed foods for the most part. It was more of a paleo keto approach. So that's what I did, Frank. And you can look at my old videos and then look at current videos to see the change. You can look through my community posts. And then I did the carnivore diet for, I think it was 30 days or 40 days, right? And that did pretty good, but um but just being aware of what I was taking in. So he watched the world and the universe. It is spinning through a custom lens. My tombstone. There you go, CB. My tombstone should say "Return the Sender." I had 3 flat tires and 1 airbag go out this week. We're having fun. Wow. Is Snorelord quoting Limp Bizkit? Probably. Nookie. Pigtail, what's up? Jose, be grateful you have tires that go flat. To go flat, right? I was wondering about you this morning, obviously. I was like, man, I haven't seen him in a while. Glad to see you, my friend. You have to be willing to risk bankruptcy to be an owner. However, a good business plan helps mitigate the risk. Absolutely. There's no such thing as as zero risk of bankruptcy. The hospital bills can put you into bankruptcy. Pigtail says the better you're capitalized, possibly with a wife who has insurance and will look for loads while you're driving. You have it set up to more likely be successful. Yeah, you see them too. They think they're yeah, you see them too. You think they're being sneaky, but we see them walking inside with their shower bag from pump 17, right? Talk about the drivers that park on the fuel islands. Simple Logic, what's up? Yep, and then I washed my fifth wheel with LBC. Henry Duncan. Keto rules got down from 267 to 222 and have kept it off for 6 months now. And it took me 2 years of telling Pigtail about all this, right? And he finally does it. Look at that. Mother Trucker, good morning. Keto has corrected many metabolic problems here too. Grateful. There you go. And I set out to prove that you can do keto and lose weight on the road with very little exercise, just by changing what you eat. As a truck driver, because there are people like, oh, you need to lose weight and you can do this, but okay, I'm a truck driver. I sit for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. So now what? You don't deal with what I deal with. You have it good. I don't. So I knew that I was going to have to do it as a truck driver. In fact, I've gained weight by not driving. But we're back to losing again. Fasting is the key. I owe it all to Snorelord's influence information at LBC. This Trucking Life, good morning. JF Trucker, morning. Good morning. Ollie says, keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard. There you go. Code Red Simulations. What's up? 20 years from now, no one's going to remember all the hours of work, but your family will. There it is. Cents per mile. There it is. I have a lot of regrets for becoming a truck driver and being on as much as I was. And I had it easy. I was home every other weekend as a company driver. The only time I was out a month was when I bought my first truck. And so I knew that needed to be, there was a time where I was this close to getting the Schneider finance truck when I was at Schneider. I was pretty close. And I talked to Jeff about it. He was like, well, it could be done, but man, you're going to have to change how you run. And of all people, Big Rick CEO talked me out of it. We had this conversation. He ended up getting a Schneider finance truck, but he did things differently than I would. He knew what my limitations were. And you know what? Frankly, so did I. I knew what my limitations were. I knew where my line in the sand was. And so for the people that pull off the Schneider finance deals, man, my hat's off to you. As long as it's not costing you everything. There's no risk of bankruptcy when you have a Schneider finance truck, because you just give them back the truck and you go back to company driving. You buy $160,000, $180,000, $200,000 truck from a bank, yeah, that's a different story, right? Shannon is excited and just docked at receiver. Went to Walmart, great money and benefits, home a lot, no risk, easy to get ahead, and then home refrigerator breaks, right? Did I hear wrong? Did you just say no? Big Rick CO did not pass. No, you did hear wrong. No, he's fine. He just did a video about a month or a couple weeks ago. Fester, what's up? I purposely didn't do extra exercises to see the true results. Now I do weight resistance, good results, 30 plus down. I mean, yeah, doing the workouts will definitely help. But yeah, I mean, just changing what you eat can make monstrous results. Because some people can't exercise, right? So the only thing you can control sometimes is what goes in your mouth, right? See, and I know many hate Dave Ramsey, but his moneymaker over helped my wife and I get debt free, including a paid off house. We lived like no else 16 years ago. Now we live like no else today. 7 steps work. Yes, my wife is a huge Dave Ramsey fan, and I don't. I guess I don't see the circles of people that hate Dave Ramsey. And so yeah, that's we use that program too. We paid off quite a bit of debt with the pathetic job I had at the time, and and we just it works, right? But it's willpower also. We literally had to freeze the credit cards in the freezer back before this online stuff happened. Back before your browser could save your credit card number. Amazon goes, "Hey, you want to use this card on file?" And it worked. Truck's in the shop. I'm going to the lake. All right, Randy. Yes, Dave's info was useful. Agreed. CDN. TC. Okay, I thought I heard wrong. Wanted to double. No, Big Rig CO is fine. In fact, his driver's son works on my vehicles. He's done a great job. So, the summary is working out on you. Physical, mental, and financial health all require work. Recognize need for change is the starting point. That's it. So this is now my announcement. Okay, this is now my. I did the clickbait thing and called it. It wasn't clickbait, so I apologize for lying to you. Actually, in the video, I mentioned that I made a decision. That's not clickbait. I didn't tell you what decision was. I've decided. Here it goes. And some of you already know this. I've decided I'm going to sell my truck. There, I'll let you absorb that. Let the haters yell. I'll probably get inundated. I'm probably gonna. There's probably be a couple of videos about how I failed. Go for it. Go for it. What do you guys think of that? Show in the comments what you think of that. Come on, bring it on. Lay it on me. Tell me I'm a loser. Tell me I'm a failure. Please. Here's the deal. I've decided to sell the truck because it's just time. Okay. I've kept the truck for this long because it's a safety net. If my business relationship, and friendship falters with Jeffrey Like, then I'm left without a truck if I sell it, right? But what I realize is that because I don't sell the truck, that I have trouble pulling the triggers on a few other things that where I'm all in, right? And I realize that it's only my ego that wants to keep this truck. I love this truck. I love the color. I love the cheap Prime graphics that Prime put on there. Um, but it's time for someone else to use this truck so they can make some money. It's time for someone else to get a chance to fulfill if they want to be an owner operator or not. Now, I don't have the exact. I thought I had the numbers down to a T, but I don't. I've been overthinking on the numbers, and so I'm still working through that. Okay, but I found that I have my ego. My whole identity has been based around this truck. I've owned this truck since 2017, and I've owned that trailer since 2018. Now, the trailer, I have not officially made a decision on that yet. Okay, now people might ask, well, what happens if you lose your job with Jeffrey Light. Well, then I could probably buy another $60,000 truck and go back out there. That's not a big deal. Now there was a time where, I will admit there was a time where that safety net was because people were paying $120,000, $150,000 for 300,000 and 400,000, 500,000 mile trucks. That's asinine. I would never do that. A lot of people call me, "Hey, Steve, what would you do in this situation?" Well, I don't know because I would never put myself in that situation. And at the time that I first decided to be an owner operator, if trucks were 160,000 for 500,000 miles, I would have been like, no, I guess that dream's out. But not, they're becoming reasonable again. The lots are filling up. People are returning their pickaxes and shovels. And so I recognize that challenge. And what I'm thinking is this truck's costing me money sitting. I'm paying money on a pre-pass. I'm paying money on my plate. I'm paying property taxes on this stuff. $1,000 a year for that for Missouri, which ain't bad compared to what some friends I know have. But it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be weird not seeing this truck out front. It's going to be weird not being in a truck stop with my truck. And trust me, that is a hard adjustment. This is going to be, this is going to be tough for me to sell the truck. Now, I haven't sold it yet, WCF Invader. But I could easily get back in the game if I so choose to do so. Is that right? Did I say that sentence right? So yeah, this has been my decision. I've decided, you know what? Get rid of this ego. I have a paid off truck. Who cares? What I see is money being wasted out there in my street. Now, I don't have the details of what I'm selling the truck for. I talked to a couple of people with the numbers, and I don't have those exact numbers. I do know it will be reasonable. I'm not going to be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll sell it for $100,000." I'm not doing that. I want to be able to sleep at night. I want to give someone a chance. But I'm not doing one of these insane lease purchases to someone that doesn't have $5 in the bank to cover any repairs. I'm not doing that either. What I'm going to want down is going to eliminate 90% of the people that are going to inquire on buying this truck. Now, the trailer, I have not decided what I'm doing with that yet. The trailer I can get rid of like that. I have like 3 people in the chat right there that want this trailer. Not to mention my own carrier, right? I would rather, and I figured out that I would rather own 5 trailers than 1 truck with the business model that I'm trying to create. So once I get those details leveled out and I talk to some people for over some advice that have been on this path before, then I will put those numbers out. The truck has 715,000 miles on it, I believe. 715 or 718. It's a 2014 Kenworth T680 with the PACCAR engine. So there's that. And the reason why I came to this decision, because it's just time to move on to something different. It's not that dispatch and brokering has lit my world on fire, but it's doing okay. And the safety management, Jeff and I have had discussions as this carrier grows. Our carrier has grown quite a bit in the last 6 months. That was a prediction I had wrong. I predict that we would only have half of the contractors because of this market. But you know what? These guys are persevering. These guys and gals, sorry, Shannon, are kicking ass and taking names. And so we're way past 20 trucks now. And Jeff and I have talked about a number that I can officially get out of the truck. Because right now I can get in the truck right now and run a load. And I get a higher percentage than the other contractors. Why? Because I've been here the longest. Jeff has this longevity pay. But I believe I'm more valuable at home. Again, I'm not one of these guys that's going to share my personal life. My family needs me at home right now, which is part of the reason why I haven't been in the truck. And so if you want to call me a failure, go ahead. If you want to call me a non-business owner, well, guess what? I still own the dispatch. Well, I don't own it, but I still have a dispatch service, and I'm working on brokering freight. Not to mention a couple of side gigs that I'm trying that has nothing to do with trucking. Right? So once I get the details and the numbers, I'm not doing one of these lease purchases that will put you out of business. And cash is king when it comes to getting this truck. And if I don't sell it in the next 6 months, then I'm fine. That's the thing. I'm not desperate to sell it. At worst, I pay another $1,800 for a plate, run a couple of loads when it's slow like it is this week. And so I identify with that truck. That's my identity. I've been an owner operator for 8 years. Started at Landstar, went to Schneider for a couple of years, and then I've been in the spot market ever since. Paid off that truck, paid off that trailer. Technically, I've paid off 2 trucks. What do I got to show for it? Nothing. Relationships, knowledge, and a little bit of home life balance that I tried to achieve. And I, for the most part, I was successful with that. That truck could blow its motor tomorrow, and I'll sell it for scrap weight. Have to pay for a tow. Throw it out in our 5 acres and let it rot in a field like you see, going through Arkansas or Alabama. I mean, I'm not desperate to sell it. So, but I had to make the decision of I need to get rid of my ego and pride on that truck because it's just cost me money. Instead of costing money, it should probably make somebody some money. So, anyways, that's my decision. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't care. Now, if you have some constructive criticism, then yes, I'm willing to hear that because I'm always willing to hear constructive criticism. Right? But non-constructive criticism is worth the time that it takes to hear it. If it takes you 30 seconds to tell me I'm an idiot and a failure for selling my truck, blah blah blah, then your advice is worth 30 seconds. And so, and yes, there's trucker in my name, but it's not my identity. I'm okay with that. So there we are. There's my decision. I want to sell the truck, and I have no problem buying another truck if I need to. And here's the other thing. If I was a full-time owner operator, I would probably want to get into a newer truck anyways. Maybe, I don't know. Some of these new 23s and 22s are not doing so good. I've done a lot of work on this truck. I've got the paperwork right here. I've done a lot of work. A lot of work has been done on this truck. This isn't everything I've done. But if I'm going to make home life work, you know, if I was doing something locally with that truck, that'd be cool. But the short haul rates around here are not worth it, especially with the cost of fuel going back up. So I will do details on the truck. So let me go back to the comments here. Better to sell it rather than having an expensive lawn ornament. This is true. Congratulations for being able to take that step, Code Red. Thank you. Shannon says congratulations. Don't congratulate me yet. I made a decision that kicks my ego in the nads. That's about it. I think it's a good thing. 100% commitment to dispatching, brokering, and safety manager. That's the big one. Hard to grow if you're held back. This is true. Have a buyer already? No. I've literally only told 3 people this. Jeff Jeff didn't even know. Jeff doesn't even know that I've made this decision. I didn't talk to him yesterday. My theory is that he was very busy, and so it never came up in conversation. JF says making moves. My name is nobody. Thumbs up. WCF Invader says, oh yeah. Now you can make your YouTube name shorter. Trucker's gone. Now James Best and JF need to remove Trucker, says LVC. But no, Don, I did not sell the truck yet. You haul ammunition. Your truck was a tool used to learn, gain insight, and experience. Your knowledge experience provided you with the opportunity to offer truck dispatcher and now freight broker. Selling the truck frees mental space. That is absolutely true. CDN has been a great mentor for me. He's been a huge, tremendous influence on me. Jose says, sell it, you'll be fine. WCF, I bought my truck at the peak of the market. It was 60K for a little over 400,000 miles. Somehow it's worked out. I wasn't willing to pay more than that for a used truck in 2021. That's good. And dude, and that's why you can run the way that you do. That's why WCF Invader has a decent balance, as far as I can tell, of life and business. He's got kids at home. He told me yesterday, hey, don't look for a load because I'm going home for the day because my daughter needs this and my kids need this. And that's why he runs the way he runs. He's figured out the same thing I've figured out. You can't have home life balance with a $6,000 a month truck note. You just can't. It just doesn't happen. Show me someone that does that, and I'll show you someone that's lying. If you're one of these single people that live in the truck, here's something else I've learned. Okay, how many of you in the chat, and be honest, how many of you in the chat feel burned out? Because here's the deal. I had a friend that was deployed in overseas in the military, and he became a truck driver, and he had trouble with being away from home. And I asked him, why is that more of a challenge than what you did when you're in deployment? He goes, well, in deployment, you have an end date. You have a date that you know that you're going home. There's an end game. There's a goal to be reached. I was watching a great Ryan Mickler video yesterday talking about this. With trucking, he didn't have an end game. It was all about that lease payment. And that tore him up. He completed his lease though. But here's the thing. If you're single and you live in the truck and you think that that's what your key to success is going to be, I'm going to have to disagree. Because you'll never have an end game. There's never an end point. There's never a goal. And when you're trying to make a huge truck payment and all you're doing is surviving, that's hard on the mind. That's hard on your mental and physical and spiritual fitness. That is so hard on that. Because there's no rest. There's no island at the end of the horizon. Because a lot of financial goals are not being met right now because of the market conditions. Now, if you figured a few things out and you're not even working the way everybody else is working, then you're probably achieving some things. But then that truck check engine light comes on and it completely obliterates them. So where's the end game? That's why people burn out. That's where you see people completely quit the industry. That's where you see people become alcoholics. That's where you see people lose their home life because there's no end game. You got to have an end game. My goal when I bought this truck was it was going to be the last truck I bought because I wanted to transition into the office. Goal accomplished. But in order to meet that goal, I had to do several little goals. So, and I think that's why when I was criticized for being at home, it affected me a little bit because my ego's like, oh, he's right. You're at home. But at the same time, I realized I'm living what I set out to do. Now, were there rough patches where I didn't think this was going to happen? Absolutely. That Jeff and I had to come to a couple of conversations, hard conversations to get to this point? Yes. But here I am, and here we are. And we've got a great team here at Like Trucking. And I'm not just saying that. You know, a lot of people in this chat are with Like Trucking. You may or may not know it. And you know what? And if I can help somebody at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So here we are. And it's time to give this blessing to somebody else. It'll solve a couple of problems that I have right now by selling the truck. And most of it is stress. You know, the APU's been keeping the batteries fresh, brand new batteries. You know, the APU's been doing its job, but I want to get rid of this truck before winter. So, how many miles? You know, I'll tell you the exact miles right now. See if it pops up. We'll get on the Samsara here. I want to say 718 maybe. Right now it shows 715,077 miles. And I'm at 63% fuel and 97% DEF. I love the Samsara. I love it. Ego edging God out, says LVC. The foreigners in Indy will pay premium cash. Will they give me 40 grand for it? How much torques does the truck have? Asking for a friend. We'll get to the numbers. I have. I'll figure it out. The worst is yet to come, says Thomas. Snorelord Metalhead Viking Caveman Broker. Yeah, we'll do that. Like I said a long time ago, real truckers are hard to come by nowadays. So is that the first insult I'm going to get, Thomas Wilson? That I'm not a real truck driver, or I've never been a real truck driver? See, I hope not, Thomas. I hope you're a better friend than that. Miss Charles, I'm late. Good morning. Snorelord identifies as a Kenworth. I totally disagree. It's not failing of you to walk away voluntarily. Even if you didn't, the economy is horrible. It's not their fault they're going under either. Some things are out of your control. Yeah, dude, I don't see it as failure. I'm really not. I paid off the truck. It's going to make me money when I sell it. And I'm starting another business, or I've been into another business. So how is that a failure? That's a movement, right? You're allowed 8 more trucks until we make fun of you, like Jason. Mr. Wilson. All right, that's what they said about my truck. I do now. Yeah, Jeff's a failure because he sold his truck. I like to see somebody say that. Yes, Tom, you are late. Unacceptable. Start over. SST. Can't there be a goal in business too? It's all mindset. It is. Right? I know I'm burned out. Don't have a choice but keep going forward until we get competent leadership in DC again. That's true. That's true. After 36 years in this month, I'm past burned out. Wow, 36 years, Jose. I'm not burned out. Give me about 2.5 more years and maybe. Well, here's the thing, Shannon. You have a set date in mind of when you want to be out off the road. And so that allows you the ability to not get burned out or to minimize your burnout. Make sure you keep that home life balance, but also know that you're not looking at a full 6 years in that truck. Truck with T-Bone, good morning. Real truckers never burn out. Sorry, but it's a fact. Sometimes when you find yourself in a hole, the best thing to do is quit digging, right? Greg, just like a military deployment, you need an end date. Couldn't agree more. I plan long vacations months in advance and circle the dates on the calendar. That's how I combat burnout. There you go. Nice truck in that avatar, Greg. Shannon says the best is yet to come. Sterling, yo, good morning. It's good you're selling it, but if it's become a paperweight, it has. Jeff has sold many trucks. End of the day, a truck is just a tool. That's true. Trolls out. He had plans since I. Trolls out. He's had a plan since I've been at Life Trucking. I've sold every truck I've ever owned. Very happy failure. Yep. So I look again. The if the word failure comes up in describing me, then go right on ahead. I will just say okay. Because at the end of the day, I know what my aspirations are. I know what my goals are. And it would just it literally to get another truck is a phone call away. Literally. Like that. To get another truck. So why not let somebody have this opportunity? Right? Trucking is a business, so there's no burnout unless you're wanting to do a different business. I need another truck, says Shannon. Why do you need another truck? Silly. There will always be another truck if you want. Exactly. And hell, if the way the economy is going, I might be able to buy a new Kenworth with bad injectors for 20 grand. How about that? Oh man. Greg needs another truck. Alex, have you found a cut in income after transition? Yes. But I also don't have my income's well. Look, when dispatch is doing pretty well, Alex, between the safety pay and the dispatch, and then the odds and ends that Jeff has me do, and watching rate cons and all that, it's balanced to be about the same of what I was netting driving the truck. Now, mind you, when I was driving the truck, it was never like the last 2 years have been pretty much short haul, and they were easy runs, but they were highly profitable. So I didn't have to work that hard. I've never been that truck has never done more than 2,700 miles a week. I want to say that my highest was 27. There's only been a couple of times that I needed, not wanted, but needed a 34 on the road. And that was by design. I live in a great freight area. I know my customers, I know my brokers. And it was I knew how to run the business. I learned hard ways sometimes. I had some harsh lessons. And and so I'm sorry, I'm reading a far ahead and it's distracting me. But Alex, so yeah, there's been, and so at this point the truck's cost me money just sitting. It's time for it to go. And so here we are. And look, if I need more money, I'll figure it out. That's the thing, man. It's going to force me to make some decisions. It's going to force me to make some changes. You know, I failed at being a woman. Come at me, bro. Oh, that's funny. Shannon needs 10 trucks for one for each grandchild. She does. Let's just start with two. I would love. So, my son has talked about being slightly interested in getting a CDL. I wish I could I wish the insurance worked that I could just sign him over to like trucking, have him run my truck. I wish I could do that. I wanted to do that. I want to be able to pass some kind of empire to somebody, right? But insurance doesn't let me do that. So we'll figure it out, right? I wish I can use the truck to teach them how to get a CDL, but all these companies they want certified CDL schools, which are a scam. We throw the word failure around too easy. All I see is you're pivoting to a different part of the industry that works for you. Yes. Look, and somebody's like, "Oh, you broke her one load, and you think you're hot crap." Blah, blah. No, I may not never broker another load again. You never know, right? But and maybe all the trucks, like right now, I've got 0 trucks. Well, I've got 1 truck I should be looking for, but Don's pretty much booked until what, Thursday, and then and I'll be looking. And I've got 1 truck that was going to start Thursday, back up, but he's not now. So I've got a pretty easy week because people are either on vacation or their trucks are broke down or both. It's a tough market right now. It is very tough. And but you know what? People are making it. People are doing it. People are accomplishing what they need to accomplish. Where do you sit in that realm? Are you willing to? A lot of people were doing all right, but then they weren't willing to do it anymore. They just decided, you know what? I'm going to do something different. There's nothing wrong with that. You get Snorelord a day cab, Jeff? No. No wonder me and you work so well together. Man, I'm behind on the comments a little bit. Sorry. Nobody's calling him a failure. I still want a small fleet within like trucking. Well, I get that TC. Alex says I do 10K, 12K miles a month. 7 years full time living out of the truck. I don't make a ton of calculated per hour, way more hours than most other jobs. Look, if you're happy doing that, you've been able to manage your health and your finances and your it's a journey, right? That's one of the things that every person in this chat, every person that's watching, all 63 of you, and the one person on Facebook, this is the most important thing that you need to learn. It's a journey, not a destination. The only destination is death. I welded for several years. I enjoyed my time welding. Would I go back to welding? No. Would I go back to trucking, driving a truck full time? Probably, if it wouldn't affect things here at home. And so I have a choice. I can either go back to running that truck full time to catch up on some finances, or I can just sell the truck and do what I'm doing now full time, which I've already have, and make it work. Now there's no safety net. But there is. There's a backup plan. It's called driving a truck. I'm still going to keep my CDL. I'm never getting rid. I'll be 80 years old going, I got to update my CDL. If the apocalypse don't happen before then, if the country doesn't collapse before then. But I like driving a truck. I kind of wish I could drive more than I do. Friday I'll need another load, I believe. There you go. I did the living in a truck for a time. Don't miss it. There you go. I think Tom has found that balance, and he's getting ready to make some moves that's going to help him find even more balance. We have new leads for direct shippers, and that's the other thing. I don't want to miss on any opportunities that our drivers are trying to help me with by being in the truck. If my goal is to be out of the truck and make myself some money and make other people money, then I'm succeeding. It's going to be tough. Again, it's all ego. Ego is the only reason why I keep that truck. Ego and fear. Well, in order to become a stronger man, I have to realize that, you know what? I need to kill that fear, and I need to kick the ego and the nads. I got my son his CDL right before those new regulations on certified CDL schools. Thank God for that. Randy, call me later. Cost of living is insane. Rent mortgage is a scam to keep you running. I'm used to living like an animal from being destitute early in life. Alex, if you found the balance that works for you, man, then awesome. You've got more than what most people do. CDN says, don't forget to drink more water than any other liquid. Sit on the floor for 5 to 10 minutes, crisscross, applesauce, various positions, sit on ground and stand up 10 times, walk 10,000 steps. Right, Greg, crazy. You're forced to give 10K to a Top Gun driving academy for 2 weeks to pass the test. Damn near, it is criminal. But the other way to avoid that is you go work for a company that will pay for your CDL school, but then you're enslaved to them for 18 months, or else you got to pay them back, right? Would you consider doing like a yard dog? No, no. Um, I no, that doesn't appeal to me at all, John. If I have to ever go back to driving, I have a couple of and it's company driving. Um, I don't know. I might just buy another truck and just do what I do anyways. I could probably do the day cab thing depending on the company, but I have no desire to do that. And the yard dog thing is definitely not. I was told many years ago in my early recovery that I'm going to have to learn to live every day as if it's my last, because one day I'm going to be right. I didn't realize how true that statement was. Wheelburner, that is along the lines of the books I've been reading. Is Warrior Poet talks about having to write a death letter. In the Army Rangers, that you're told to write a death letter, so that could be given to your family in the event that you're passed, right? That you're killed. And I believe that gives you a different perspective. You know, that's why 90% of the stuff we see on YouTube is minutia, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Entertainment or not, it doesn't matter, right? If 5 people do YouTube videos on how I'm a failure because I'm selling my truck, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I hate driving a truck. So many dead bugs on the windshield. Bug killer. Does Red Chicken stay with the truck? It could. He could. Excellent question. There it is. Who will have custody rights to Red Chicken? Well, we got to go over the details. But I have an end game idea, but goalpost keeps moving. What I thought was life changing money never was. Alex, you and I can have a long discussion about that. It's life changing money. Let's talk about that term for a minute. If you give a billionaire $100, is that life changing money to him? No, but it could be, and here's how. He might know how to invest that $100. At one point in his life, he invested $100 and it created his empire. Whereas you can give a homeless person $1,000, what do they do with that money? You would think that'd be life changing, and it could, but because of their mindset, it's not, which is why they're probably homeless. So now I understand there's other factors, mental illness and the state of cost of living and all that. I get that. But if you have the mindset, you can get above that. If that's your story, Alex, if you had a mindset and you got out of that, right? You said you were destitute. I'm going by what you said. And you got out of that. It was your mindset that created that. Life changing money is in the eye of the beholder. And you keep that in mind. What if someone handed you the keys to a semi truck? Here's your truck free and clear, right? Free and clear, but there's no warranty. Would you be able to keep that truck in business? Some could, some won't, because of their mindset. Because you can have all the knowledge in the world. I know people that were accountants that didn't track their numbers. Data kills denial. That's a mindset you should get used to. I'm reading Mrs. A's comment. It's all mindset. That's it. You could be given a free truck, and you could still fail, or you could have someone have a $5,000 a month truck note, and they'll make it. What's the difference? It's the mindset. Mindset says, "Hey, this isn't working, but I want to keep doing this, so I'm going to try something else." That's called pivoting. That's called going with plan B or an adjustment of plan A. That's what a true entrepreneur does. And look at your life 5 years ago. Look at your life 10 years ago. All of you. Was it different? Your worries were different. What was important to you was different. And you know what? 10 years from now, none of this is going to matter. None of this will be important to you. Trust me on this. The things that were important to me 10 years ago are not now. That's how it is. That's the journey of life. Well, your mental health is just as important as your physical, and now it's time to move on. I wish you well in your future endeavors. Thank you, John. Mrs. A, no, we can tame him enough for him to live in the house. Maybe if he can get that foul language problem under control. He's going to have a different YouTube stick, though. You know, we'll have to randomly show the truck stops here in Springfield for him to bitch about something. If I were to buy any used truck in this economy, it would be yours. I know you took good care of that truck. And it's got like lots of new stuff on it. Is the income comparable? Driving full time makes me more money than anything else I'm qualified to do. At least gross income, LOL. Net income is a whole different discussion. Yeah. $100 is 37 after taxes. That's true. Mrs. A wants red chicken. Fight, fight, fight. Wife Lord is allergic. No, she loves red chicken. Red chicken's perfect for shorts. I need to transfer all of his stuff to shorts. I need to figure out how to do that. My life hasn't changed much other than working like a dog and growing up. Only difference is number in the bank account other than a pillow of peace of mind in these times. You're going to have to figure that out, Alex. You're going to have to sort that. What's important to you? And what can you do to get you closer to what's important to you? I would consider giving up red chicken if his new team jar would help him keep making videos. That's true. Alex, I want a dwelling, permanent home, and freedom, time to actually live. Sick of not living to stay alive. So you're unbalanced. You got to find that balance, man. I love that chicken, but I don't know how he feels about me. He'll peck the crap out of you. All right, so that's it. That was my decision. I'm willing to sell this truck. That's it. Do I have the exact numbers? I thought I did, but then I'm refiguring that. If you're interested, shoot me a call or an email. Emails in the description. I got to come up with the terms. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do a lease purchase. If I am, it's going to be some terms that's going to eliminate 90% of you that are going to inquire about it. I'm going to want a big chunk of money down if I'm going to do that, and it's got to stay at like trucking. I know that. If you want to buy it outright for cash, that will have a different price. And that's it. Now, as far as the trailer goes, I have 15 people that want that trailer, Jeff included. So he'll probably get first dibs on it. If I decide to go, I might do the lease on the trailer. So, but that's it. I don't have 100% of the details in my head, and maybe the right offer would help me get those details. So, but is your KW rear suspension the AG 400? I don't know. I have 4 spring hangers, not 8. I have 4 airbags, not 8. If that's what you're talking about, because I know some were different. Bidding war for the trailer, yeah, 40 grand gets it today. I don't care who it is. If you got, but I'm not doing it. It's not worth 40. Or is it? That would solve a lot of problems I have right now. So, but hey, I'm not asking for 40, but 40 would definitely get it if you don't want to be in a bidding war with anybody. So, look, here's the deal. I want constructive criticism. If you want to give me harsh criticism, then that's on you. If you, I really don't care, because here's the deal. Nobody knows, except for maybe a select couple of people, what's really going on in my home life, right? And I've enjoyed being at home to help take care of those things. I've got a son that's trying to navigate employment. I have a daughter that's getting ready to start college, and a lot of things coming up around the house. I've still got a tree on the roof that I got to figure out. And if I was driving a truck for my $300 a day running the short stuff, my time is better served here. It's better served for Jeff. It's better served for the dispatch, the trucks I dispatch. It's better served for helping build the brokerage than and then helping with the tree and helping the kids navigate their life journeys and the companionship my wife would love. So that's more important than that truck. Trust me on this. That truck, I love that truck. I've got a lot of great memories in that truck. I've got a lot of great pride in that truck. And as soon as I can separate my identity from that truck, kick my ego in the nads, then we're good, man. We're golden. It's a little bit afraid. I'm a little bit afraid. But you know what? Fear will make me, conquering fear will make me stronger. So, and then there are people who have been telling me to sell it for a long time. So, it does not have that. That is a photoshopped picture there. So, it does not say. But I've got stickers. We can put a sticker on the side of the truck if you want. So if anybody hates Snorelord, they're going to be beating up your truck, not mine. So the AG 400 is best for hauling heavy loads, 8 airbags. Yes. Again, this was an X Prime truck, so it probably had its share of heavy loads. If everyone here thought that they could do what you've done, they probably could. Family is more important than trucker opinion. Critics can go get stuffed, right? What's the troll? You have options. You work to develop those options. Congrats. That's the reality of it, man. So, but anyways, enough. We didn't go over spot stuff. We'll do that Friday, right? So, and let me do this last comment, Alex. I do what you've done. If I thought it could work, congrats. Now, I appreciate that. Sterling, been a member for 9 months. Thank you for your support, Sterling, and also doing the 690. I've sold every truck I've owned. Very happy failure. I don't know what else to say. Other than I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate the support. And if you're a hater, then go ahead and hate, man. Live in that that aura of negativity. Live in that hate, and tell me how good it's doing for your life, please. I want to know. I believe that I would rather be a light in the dark world than to join the darkness. So, with that being said, thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel and give to my I don't have a truck anymore fund, there it is. But I have no aspirations to know. Like I have no. I think I'm going to be. YouTube money is okay, but it's not enough to live off of, right? I'm not at. I'm not at the level of some of these other just trucking Bonehead and all those guys. I'm not at that level. Nor will I be spewing common sense and not owning a truck. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And as always, strength for today, hope for tomorrow, and aggression turns to screws. All right. Peace.